All right. Hello, everybody. We are here today for a conversation with Mark and Mike from the band Me, who's also made up of Eddie and Neal. We're not here today, but hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the chat. How you doing?
Good.
Hey guys. Good.
Thanks for
Great.
having us.
Yeah, sure. No, it's been a long time coming. Of course, like full disclosure, a huge fan of both of you guys' work, particularly you, Mark. So I've been looking forward to this. I've been sitting with the album. So we should say Me is a new band, right? So new project,
Mhm.
new album coming out very soon, days away,
Hmm.
July
Yeah.
24th, as of the time we're recording this. All good things. Um, but I first wanted to maybe get everybody up to speed and have a bit of a story so far. So, Mark, would you mind taking us through a little bit of how the band came together and really kind of catch us up with the history of Me?
Yeah. Well, in short, man, there is so much that has happened in the last 2 years, 3 years. But in short, like I met Casey, our manager, and we just started talking. I started talking to her about all different types of things, and I was in it, I was not in Taking Back Sunday anymore, and I had nothing to go off of, so I just started recording my own music. I even sang it because I had no one else to sing it, and I just wanted to make songs and start making music again, to be creative, just to because that's what I do. And but long story short, um, she came out and we were hanging out, and she was like, you should talk to Ed. People want this. Taking Back Sunday fans want this, and they want to hear that sound. And from knowing you and thinking about, like, just what Ed brought to Taking Back Sunday and him not being there, and what was missing, like, you guys should really do this. And hey, Neal.
Hey, sorry.
I did. Hey.
Hello,
So
Neal. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm so
wait, what?
It's not doing good up there.
Bring her down. Bring her down. I gotta do this on my bed.
She has something. She's eating.
Bring her down and put it in a crate. Okay, bring her down, put her in a crate. Sorry, my bad. um, so we got together, Eddie and I, like, and then even before Casey had said that, like, Eddie and I had talked on the phone just to kind of catch up after years of not talking. Long story short, we go into the studio on like a basement studio on Long Island for 2 days. Those 2 days we came out with two songs. The first song was Blood Sport, the first song on the album, and Violent People, the fourth song on the album. So we did that, like, musically in the first 2 days. So we just kept it going, and here we are. Like, it was so special. Those first two songs were so special, and that feeling was there, that, like, there was no way that Eddie and I were not going to do that, just because of the people around us. His wife, Casey, my daughter, all the kids and all the wives and the family. Like, so here we are, and Mike Jansen came in, and man, we have this album that is just, we are all so excited and so proud about. So there's a lot more to it, and I probably could have told that a little bit better, and a little bit more structured, but that was like the beginning
Sure.
of this and how it got started.
Sure. So yeah, the album's here. We've been sitting with it for over a month. We'll get into that in a second. 11 tracks with the prelude, like you were saying. Bloodsport, like, kicks it all off at track number 2. We have
Can you guys hear me?
Eddie here. Yes, hello.
I hear you,
Hi.
bud.
What's up?
Hi. Not too
Hi.
much. We're just Mark just finished getting us up to speed with the story so far of Me. And thanks for joining. I really appreciate you all four being here. So let me update the intro, actually. So we do have the whole complete lineup with us. Thanks, guys. And Neal, I hope you're all right. I heard you had a little something.
yes. No, it hurt. I'm better now. It's a kidney stones, and it's it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Get well soon. So yeah, and Mark, you said, it's kind of the abridged story, and of course there's a lot that can happen in 2 years. There's a lot that happens in 2 years, but maybe let's spend a few minutes on how Mike exactly kind of folded into how he came in, and because I think that story is pretty particular, it's pretty singular.
It is.
So I don't know. So please let us know.
Okay, I'll tell my best version of it is like so we had Eddie and I were in the studio at Applehead in Woodstock, and we were making um just the music, just the tracks. So
Yeah.
like to early on, we said to ourselves to make sure that we get the creative experience that we want to together, that we know that we can make. We don't want anyone else coming in and doing anything. And like we even said, like the whole thing was like, we don't have a singer. We're not going to get a singer. We're just going to get a singer for each track. So Casey came up with the idea of doing like not a tryout, but like here's one song, and then get a bunch of people to go in and send stuff, and then whoever had the best track, we're going to put it on the album. Out of all of those, Mike Jansen, like when all of us heard it, it was very, very clear that this dude was on another level, and just knew kind of like exactly the sound that we were going for. The way that he did his delivery was cool as hell, and it was very, very good. So he came out to Applehead in Woodstock, and within 10 minutes, like he said, like right when we got to the studio, we're like, all right, let's go in. And he went in, and one track turned into a full album, and a full album turned into a band. And now here we are with this full album and full band management. I mean, we got publicity. We got the whole thing going now. We have a whole big team behind us, and it's really amazing. But that's how that happened with Mike.
Mike,
We started something and now we got to go through with it, you know?
now it's too late, right? Point of no return. But I'm glad you
Point of
did.
no
I'm glad
return.
you did, guys. I'm glad you did. So, Mike, what went through your head when you deplaned and got to New York and were about to like hop into the booth, and what were you thinking?
Well, I've been writing my whole life, and I've been working on my own project where a lot of it was like done in my bedroom or in like my bedroom studio kind of deal. Where I was writing over tracks I was building that I might like put aside for a while and come back and try to write over. So the idea of writing over somebody else's track in that setting in my house was refreshing, because it was, a new batch of ideas that I wouldn't have come up with on my own. But it gave me the chance to just kind of explore what I would want that sound to be, because they have a very distinct sound. And it's like, well, what else am I missing that I would like to hear that gives me like this feeling of, oh, I missed that, but without doing what they had already done vocally with, their past project.
For sure.
So it was honestly, it was like a zero pressure. They're probably not even gonna hear it. Let's just, I don't know. This is what I would do, and then I threw something together. And
Like how you said that.
Yeah, I just draw from my own past and experiences, and like, oh, this has a certain amount of angst to it. Like, I want to write something that follows that feeling that I get when I first hear it. And they really liked it right away. And they sent me a couple other songs that they were working on, just in case that throughout the process of finding someone to sing the first single, if they found somebody else, they were going to fly me out anyways to do a different song on the record. That's kind of like the idea that was going on. So they sent me 4 or 5 more songs, and I wrote to all of them, because it was fun. And it was one of those things like, if they're not going to use these vocal melodies or lyrics, now I have something to write to with these vocal melodies and lyrics for later.
Right.
Like, there was no pressure. It was just like, I like writing, and I was having fun with it. And yeah, if they were going to turn it down, then I was going to have these vocals to play with my own instrumentals later. But that wasn't the case. Like, I kind of walked in and did the first song, and then, played an acoustic version of Grown Man for Eddie, which he brought Mark in, and they both were very drawn to it.
Eddie ran out.
And he
Eddie
did.
ran out. Let me to see Ed react the way that he did to. Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to.
No, go for it.
But to see Eddie react the way that he did to what Mike had just sang him inside of the studio, where he was like, I was outside, doing whatever, and he was like, call on in. I was like, yeah, I'll be ready. And he was like, no, put it out. That's what I was smoking. He was like, put out the cigarette, come inside right now. And when he said that, I was like, holy shit, like this must be so. And he was, and it was, and he was right, and it was very good. And yeah, so go ahead.
But even with that, like there was no talks of them looking for an actual singer. It was just, I was just writing ideas because it was fun. And they're all cohesive because they're all, from the same, maybe I'm saying that wrong. It all ended up being cohesive because what they were writing spoke to me in a way where it all kind of fit together in a certain way. But I wasn't thinking about it that way when I was writing it. I was just writing it because it was fun. And I was only supposed to be out there for one day. So that turned into 9 days of writing. And, by the 5th day, they were asking if I was interested in like doing the album with them. So the pressure started, pressure started there.
Right.
But before that, there was none. It was just, let's see what happens. Like,
Mike, I think I recall looking and you go, yeah, you should start writing for more songs. No pressure. And it's funny that you said that. And that's when the pressure began. But honestly, dude, you wrote those songs so freely and so easily that it was natural,
Yeah. And to be honest, like the whole process of finding one singer to do one song the way that we did, I was completely against it. Like it's really wild to like be like, no, this is not going to turn out the way it's going to be a pain in the ass. But man, there's some things that you're just very wrong about, and that was one of them. So thank God.
Thank God.
The studio also created a very there was a lot going on at all times. So you've got you've got Mark and Ed, finally communicating again together, which this is a story that I was unfamiliar with when I got there. And when I came in, like the studio was so peaceful itself, that the combination of different emotions that went on throughout the day, and the fact that we're like in this beautiful place, in Woodstock, New York, where I was able to like go to town for a little bit and experience a bunch of different settings and emotions, was really good for writing.
And a lot of egg sandwiches.
It's beautiful there too. The waterfalls, it's
a ton of egg sandwiches, a short morning run, a turkey that lived there, like a lot of weed. A big combination of things that just created a really helpful environment for writing a record like that. And I had a bunch of ideas with me too, so it was nice to be able to piece things together on the spot. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question.
No, totally, yeah. Thanks for adding color. And I find it so full circle that ultimately Special, right, the first single drops in May this year. That's the one that you were, initially asked to sing on, and then Grown Men Follow Suit, and that's the one, because I peeped the little backstory on your Insta the other day, where you kind of explained it in the caption that, basically what you said, that Ed heard it and just needed to work on it right away. And speaking of the first two singles, I wonder, how have you guys felt the reception has been? Are you happy with it? Like, how has it been for you? Like, putting these two new babies out in the world, and they're complete new guys. How has it been?
As my experience in music, this is hands down, like it's one of the best reactions that the best reaction to anything I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
Creatively in my life. Just And I'm not saying that like it's going to be this big, massive thing or whatever, but like on a personal level, it seems like it is making people feel something really special in a way that like the only thing I can compare it to is before Tell Your Friends came out and the excitement behind that. Right, Eddie?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, and I think like I always think back at all the little things that happened while we were at Woodstock, whether it was arguments or whatever. But I think about all of that stuff, the turkey, like Mike said, uh, Mark sitting out in the car listening to the album, Neal lighting fires like in a fire pit, like it all happened for a reason. And like I'm starting to learn, like in my age now, to listen to my inner self, which is very important. And my inner self told me this is all supposed to happen, so you got to hang in there. So for me, it was like so comfortable, and it really did feel like, oh my God, that's that feeling I haven't had in a long time, and that's the feeling I had before Tell Your Friends. Like you could tell, like there's this energy in the air, and it's good, and I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to screw it up, you know. So I agree with Mark on that, and
Cool.
Jensen.
Isn't music just amazing that it just does
Yeah,
that? I mean, come on.
it
It's
It's
is.
hard too.
guys,
It's hard, but you know what though? Without drama, without sorry, Casey, without women, without struggles in life, without rock and roll. I mean, like there would be no rock, there would be no music, there would be no like music is a big part of your emotions. And for me, that's a big part of it. It's like so it makes me emotional. Like these guys don't know it, but when I sit in the car, I smile and I get a little teary-eyed when I listen to this because I'm like, I can't believe after 9 years of disappearing and not seeing Mark, like we were able to get together and just do this and then have Mike come in and then you know, Neal is there no matter what because he has no choice. It's like, you know, it's just a good feeling. A lot of it for me is just my old ass trying to get into gear to play shows again. That's all it is.
right.
Other than that, I'm excited. I wish we lived closer to each other because we probably have 3 albums out already, the way we write, you know?
But like, oh man, I think about that all the time. If we could just like, hey, 10 minutes, go down to the studio because we all live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like you said, but music is so beautiful. It is such
It
an
is beautiful.
amazing thing, and it's amazing thing the power that it can have. A beautiful song can have so much power in the right way for the right reasons, and it is. You're right. It's so amazing. It's such an amazing thing.
So
Yes, sir.
Neal, you got brought up, but what's your story? So I know you go back a long way with Mark and I guess Eddie too. So, but what's your perspective and how did you sort of get forced? Was there really no other choice? Were you cornered?
No, I mean, there's a choice. Uh, it's I don't even know. I don't even know. Because I'm very distracted. I'm having a slumber party here in like a week or two when everybody comes into town to play a show. So I was just trying to get stuff ready, and then Casey sent me a message. I don't know. I feel like Mark can tell it better, my story, because
I can. I definitely can.
Hey, Neal,
I'm not the most outspoken.
Neal, very importantly, not to cut you off, but you're hosting a bunch of short little Spanish people. All you need is a bag of rice, some beans, leave out the cleaning stuff, because me and Michelle will clean your house. You know, you got Guatemala and Colombian there. We'll fucking cut your lawn. We'll do whatever you want. Thank you for having us, though. I love you. Thank you.
No, yeah. But I'm excited.
But,
I just can't wait to play the show.
So Neal, like that's another whole part. That's another whole part of the story. Like, after I was out of Taking Back Sunday, I was really, really down on my luck. Like the most down a human being could possibly be, really.
Yeah.
And instead of judging me or whatever, Neal and his family, his beautiful wife, his beautiful kids, they took me in and I lived with him. I lived in his basement,
Wow.
off and on for a couple of years, because he's a good friend. Shit, I'm getting emotional, you know?
Okay. It's okay. Let it out. You're supposed to. That's how you feel good inside.
Yeah. So having him, he was here with us, and then even like when I started doing like the music to just have people hear it, like thank God, like Eddie heard what I was doing and saw. That's kind of like almost how we started talking, or at least part of the reason. And Neal, like I know him so well. Like we played soccer together our whole entire lives. Like just the way that he played soccer and the way that he skateboarded throughout our life. Like we brought up having him play bass because he's the realest motherfucker on the planet. And then I was like, yo, if you learn, because he never played a bass guitar. So I was like, if you could learn how to play bass and like I could talk to Mike and Ed, like maybe this could happen. Like, and long story short, Neal plays bass for me, and he could play bass well now. And then within a year from now, he's going to be the best bass player in rock. I know it.
Hey, you know what though? My first introduction to Neal and Mark was when they were kids, and I used to call them bums. I used to tell them to get jobs and grow up. They used to hang out in the corner when I used to go to band practice. I used to be like, "You guys are bums," and now I'm in a band with them, and I love them.
Jokes on you, Eddie. Jokes on you.
When Ed was going into movie life practice, me and Neal would like hang with the same neighborhood. So Neal and I were always hanging out in front of Evan Bacon's house, really, during the 40s. And he would pop up. I didn't know Ed at the time. And he'd come out of the car and go, "Hey, Neal, why don't you and your fucking loser friends get alive and get out of here?" You know, like messing with Neal. And I would be like, "Yo, that guy's a dick, dude." Yeah. But he was like, "No, he's cool, I swear." And the next thing I know, I'm in Taking Back Sunday with Ed, you know, a few years later.
Hey, where are you going? I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, my daughter's leaving.
All good, all good. Let's talk about the record. Let's talk about the album because I love it, because I've had it for a while. Shout out Casey, shout out you guys for giving the advance listen.
Yeah.
So where should I start? I know I want to hear a little bit from everybody because there's so much to talk about. Like Mark said, it's essentially 10 songs. There's a prelude, right? The intro, it's just over half an hour and change. There's a whole host of emotions, sounds, themes, really instrumentation. The bass really slaps so hard, Neal. The drums are the loudest I've heard in a minute, Mark. So who would like to start? Who would like to grab the mic and tell me a little bit what they're most excited about in, what is it, a week and a half for everybody to hear? And maybe let's talk about specific songs. I love that.
Anybody?
Mike, you want to go?
Mike,
Sure.
where do you want to start?
I think because of, you know, how we said how the record or the process started, I think I thought about the album as a whole from the beginning of being in the band, as opposed to just writing songs individually at that point. So there isn't a lot of repetition of specific ideas. Like you don't get 3 of the same kind of love song on the record. Because as soon as we finished one and we were pumped on it, it was what's happening next? What's the next song? And if one had come out sounding too much like one of the other ones, I would have started over or I would have changed directions. So, I mean, I'm most excited about the record for the fact that it is a record. It's an album all the way through. There isn't a sleeper song to me, and there isn't a theme that is less important than another one. You're going from, you know, a song like Big Smiles, which is just like a raw acoustic, into Nuzo. Like they're both equally important to me. For different reasons, because I don't want a record where, oh, these 2 songs sound really similar, I like this one better. It's like they're all written differently.
The outro to Nuzo, it really just sounds so wall of soundy, abrasive. It's almost like alt metal, and then it goes into Big Smile. That transition is, shout out to whoever sequenced the record, because it works.
Thank you.
That was
Mark's.
That was Mark's idea, because he was thinking about it from the perspective of having a vinyl, a side A and side B.
Right. Yes.
And you get this harsh ending, and then it starts over, and now you have a new feeling. And then again, it ends with, you know, this is what it feels like to be normal, which makes you go, turn it over. Let me hear it again.
Yeah.
Let me do that again.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have it on vinyl. None of us have it yet, but I'm excited to have the ability to finish a side and be like, I need the other side, and then I need it again.
Yep.
So,
I can add more as we go on, but if anyone else wants to jump in,
let's hear from somebody else. Like Ed, what excites you? What are you excited about mostly?
What excites me?
Yeah, on the album
That I
specifically.
get to rock out again with these guys. No, well, that, yeah. But as far as the record, like what Mike just said, is the reason why I always say I don't choose a song over another song, because they're all different characters and I love them all, like my children. I'm saying that nicely as one of them's looking at me. And it's just, like what Mike said, every song has its own character, and I'm just excited to share that with everyone in a week. And I'm also not excited to screw them up. So, I think every song on the album has its own character, so I can't choose one. And yeah, if that answered the question. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can't wait for people to just the whole album to be out and people to just press play and then hear the intro, which is dope. It is a dope introduction into Bloodsport, because Bloodsport is that energy. It's an energy to it that I really believe is going to make people go like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I was not expecting this from these dudes. And then, turn on the album, hear Bloodsport, because that song's a banger, and it hits, and it's got like young man energy to it. So we still got it at our older age, at 45, 53, like we still got it, no question about it. And Bloodsport, I really feel like, is the proof.
Bloodsport's amazing.
I for 9 years I didn't really do anything, and then I jammed out with some local friends of mine, and it was fun. But I can't find anyone who gets how I write. Like every drummer I tried out or jammed with, and then as soon as my son was like, "I'm talking to Mark again, you should talk to him," and then Casey reached out, I realized that, all right, I'm going to take a chance and go do this. And the minute I got in the room with Mark, it's just natural. And I was just like, you know what? We're going to write a whole record. I kept that inside me, but that's what I was thinking. And I'm just excited to play music again with Mark and everybody. And I'm just excited to play this record. Like, I'm sick of talking about it, man. I want to fucking play already. Sorry, guys.
I feel you.
No, right.
You're good. You're good.
He's got all the emo and shit. Sorry.
When we were in the studio and like this is like first or second day, Eddie had the riff for Bloodsport, and then right away I knew that I was gonna go on the hi-hat fast,
Yeah.
And he was like, I kept on saying to him like, no, I got it, and it's just really exciting. But go ahead, sorry, you look like you're gonna say something.
I do have to say something, because there's something about Bloodsport. So the combo of Violent People, Nuzzo, but also Soap Bar, which is arguably my favorite song. So the way that
Awesome.
Mike, the way that your voice is so haunted and nocturnal, and the way that it weaves on top of like your guys' instrumentation is really unlike anything I've heard. Even think about your
That's
previous
so
project.
perfect. The way you explain, the way you
Right?
describe that is so
I
perfect.
really have been thinking about it, particularly Soap Bar. It sounds like it's six fucking of you singing, because it's so evocative, Mike, right? But it's still sort of quite like haunting. And I don't know how you kind of, because your voice really has such a range on these 11 tracks, but those songs that hit that sweet spot are just really the outstanding ones for me.
Thank you. Thank you. I know there's so many great vocal tracks in there, that song that I sing along to them in the car. And I know Mike wants me to do backing vocals, but unless Mike wants hear a dying seagull, I don't know if I'm going to do it. But I'm in the car singing all those backing tracks. And you're right, man. There's like, sounds like it's so powerful. And I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to walk up to the mic and try to cover some of this beauty. So, Mike, I'm going to try.
It's
Don't
quite
laugh at me.
annoying, Alex. In practice, he will yell in perfect pitch all the backups at me perfectly, the right thing. And then I'll be like, oh, let's set up a mic. He's like, no, I'm not. I can't do it. And I'm like, all
I don't
right.
sing. Listen, I
Yeah,
had a
I don't
PTSD.
sing.
I had a
Okay.
PTSD moment with one of my old bands, and George still makes fun of me for it. And ever since then, I don't go up to mics and sing. But I will for you, and I will try. I will try. That, and my wife said if I don't, she'll kick me in the ass if I don't try. So I will try. So we will have to set up a mic. And Mark, you can't make fun of me. You can make fun of me afterwards.
PTSD moment pre-TBS, and it still bothers him. And I'm like, you didn't get any confidence back in the next 20
No.
years.
No.
Touring the world.
Like my mom had spicy jerk chicken on her honeymoon. She's never had spicy food again and blames it on that. I'm like, you can't.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Really?
Never again. Never again. One time.
Oh, that must have been a bad incident.
It was.
That's called Gen X guilt. I'll try.
But thank you. I really like Soap Bar a lot too. That was one where I said, all right, we're missing this kind of song, and Mark and Ed had a really cool idea of where the song should go, and I wanted more space in the verses so that the chorus hits harder, and exploring that with Chris, our producer, was the right move. I mean, it made it really cool. Because the little background vocal things that are done in the verse do add a haunting element. But I think playing, like I've worked with a lot of talented musicians before, but Mark has this Guns N' Roses / marching band approach to his drumming, which allows me to visualize like skipping while I'm singing it. And I think of the vocals as if I'm like hopping around over the top of something other than being like stuck in one spot. But then I remind myself, all right, how do I make this repetitive? Like, how do I make it catchy? You have to repeat something. So we find little things throughout that either I like or one of the other guys are like, oh, that melody right there, whatever that was, do that again. Yeah. 10 times,
Sorry to nerd out again, but about repetition, the way that, so you have this thing, you do it on Grown Men, but you do it on Sun Poison. Mark, I'd love to hear you on that song because I've heard you speak very highly about it before. But Mike, the way you repeat, why can't I see the colors of the rainbow anymore? So but you repeat it just once. And that's so genius because it's just that little tension. You do that on Grown Men as well. I forget the line, but is that deliberate? Is that just how it comes out? Is that a device, a Jensenian device that you have?
It's something I haven't done in the past, but there's sometimes, the idea that less is more. I get to a point and I'm like, well, what should I say next? And I'm like, that's what I mean. That's the thing that's haunting me. So say it again and then say it again so that it's not looked over. I don't have to write a novel in every song because, I mean, most of the songs have a lot of words and they have multiple sections that are not a chorus. Like Sun Poison has that, Bloodsport has that, where the second half, it turns into a different thing. So to add that specific repetition that isn't part of a chorus is it drives the idea home more.
Soap Bar has that. Bloodsport. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a like when me and Mark were writing songs in my head, I knew that I wanted someone who uniquely would say phrases and words in areas that would be different, but man, it works. And Mike nailed it with that. And that's why I instantly wanted to be in a band with him. Sorry, Mike, I'm not trying to embarrass you or anything.
No, of course not. And
just being honest. That's all. I'm just being honest.
I would take things that I heard in the room and incorporate them into the songs. Like Soap Bar, the background vocals are because I heard Mark say no way and Ed say oh well, like in an argument in the other room. And I went and I started laughing. Like I went to go get some tea and I came back in and was like, hear me out. I'm going to do this thing. But it like kind of counters what I'm saying in a sense. And it fits so well that I'm like, I'm keeping this.
I didn't know that. That's really funny.
You should say no way.
I knew that because Mike told me. I was like, I told Mike in one of the other songs, I was like, where are the freaks, where are the aliens? What the hell? And he goes, you said that. And I'm like, I did. I probably did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny, man. That's great.
Yeah, that was because we were, Ed likes to keep the TV on in the kitchen area. And it was either CNN or like something about, ghost hunters or alien encounters. So it just kind of gets stuck in my head and I add that stuff.
That's my spectrum autism, man. I like paranormal and TV's on.
But even like the line "under the couch" in the first song in Bloodsport is my like that song's about like realizing that you have a problem with substance or alcohol. It's clearly what it's about. But and saying "under the couch, under the weather" just makes it kind of catchy. But "Under the Couch" is the first venue I ever saw Taking Back Sunday play at when I was in high school.
No way.
It's a venue at Georgia Tech.
Yep, I know. We played there.
They were opening for Kitty. I was there to see Autumn to Ashes, and I went and I knew who TBS was, but watching them and that energy they created at that show was like, this is cool. My band should do this. When it was real. Never really caught up, but
yeah.
But it was kind of my way of like adding a little bit of like respect to their past in it. And I don't bring it up again, but "Under the Couch" specifically for me in that line was, oh, that's the first place I saw these guys.
Yeah.
Probably 2002.
Yeah, a long time ago. I remember that show, actually. Yeah.
Mark, can we talk a little bit about Song Poison? I've heard you and seen you talk about the song before, and as of the time of recording this, it's not out yet. Will it come out before the album, or will it come out as part of the album? What's the strategy?
It comes out before the album. I'm not. What
day comes out?
3 days before.
Comes out a week from today.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, yeah.
21st.
21st.
Hey, guys,
okay, yeah.
sorry, I'm still here. I did want to say, if you can say, we're having a radio premiere July 19th at 95X, Syracuse. And so there will be an early premiere 2 days before the song actually drops, and you can tune in live online.
Wait, say that again? Sorry.
That's
on the 19th. On the 19th, there's a radio.
Yeah, Mike, if you want to read, there was a text in the group chat this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question though?
So Song Poison, because I've heard you've been pretty adamant and sort of like confident about that song, and it's funny, I'd heard you talk about it before I'd gotten access to the stream, but what about it, and how can you tease people, and maybe even if people listen to this once it's out, what makes it such a special, impactful tune for you and this kind of central piece for the record?
Everything about it is, from the writing of it to just the way it ended up being, the song, if you ask me, the song is magic. Eddie had, it was the last day of studio, like, one of the times that we were at the studio, it was the last day. And I was like, I had an idea I was like, why don't we do a track where we lay out a track of drums? Just have a complete song of drums laid out, right? And before Eddie left earlier, so I was like, yo, you have two riffs that are great. Yeah. Can you record these two riffs to this BPM, whatever the BPM is? I think it's like 165 or 162 or something. So we laid down like that birth. And then he was like, I have one other riff that ended up being the bridge of it over the why can't I see the colors of the rainbow anymore, over that part musically. So I had those two parts, and then so I put, like, they fit perfectly over the verse and the bridge, and then I came up with the choruses and the ending, right? But I mean, there's about 4,000 drum tracks, because it's kind of like a drum line, like a marching thing that Mike had talked about. And man, just like the first thing that Mike laid down, I was like, I was a little iffy about it, but he had the chorus, Song Poison chorus, and then he went back and he changed the verses, and I don't really know how to explain it other than it being magic. And and I don't want to get too overly confident about it when I say this, and I don't want to come off cocky, but I really believe that this song is a special song, and it's going to make a difference when it comes out, and maybe in 2027, just for us, and a different sound. It's a new sound that has not been done by any other band, in my opinion. So the song is magic, and I really believe that people are going to love it.
You know, it's like I said again, every song has its own character, and that song has its own character. And it's weird because it sounds so like happy and open and like like a fresh breath of air, but to me in my head, I take it as a really dark song too. So
Right.
it's like it's one of those ironic, it may be smiley in your face, but behind the closed door, the lyrics and all that, it's dark, you know, it has some feeling, you know. So I hope people take it that way too, you know. That's my opinion. Sorry.
I agree. So like, Sun Poison track number 8 on All Good Things. Mike, did you want to read the little line before I ask Neal something different?
Yes. I don't know what the line is.
Or just plug it.
So on 95X in Syracuse, they're going to be promoting like clips of the song from the 16th to the 18th, and then on the 19th Sunday, they're going to be premiering the song on a radio show at 9:15. That's what I got. Sorry, I don't
Awesome.
know how.
No, it's perfect. Thanks for the heads up, Casey.
Yeah.
Neal, I wanted to ask you, so it sounds like you're in charge of logistics and orchestration for the album play show, the record release show next Thursday, right? So July 23rd. But speaking of like songs that you're looking forward to, like playing live, in that sense. So what are you most sort of excited to tackle? Are you going to play the whole album? Is that
Front
Yeah.
to
front to back? Okay.
yeah. No, I mean I'm excited just to play it and it be out. It's taken. I know it has to, but it just seems like it's taken forever. But at this, and I'm just I'm a very anxious ADHD. I just want to get it going, and yeah, no, I mean it's honestly just the arrangement of the album the same way. I'm excited just to play it from the first song to the end, and I don't know. I just I don't know what the question was again.
Yeah, no, what specific songs you were most excited about playing?
Oh, the specific song. Well, it starts right with Bloodsport, and then again, it's almost like the next two I'm not sick of, but like because they're the only ones that you know are out, and then just to jump back into Sun Poison, and I don't think I want to play normal because then that means it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love Soap Bar and even Astronaut Man. So sorry, I'm so bad with the title. Astronaut Show. So yeah.
The album ending with "This Is What It Feels Like to Be Normal" is a flex, and it's a good song. And it's not normal for a song to be what that song is for a last song on an album, and I'm very excited about that.
I texted Casey earlier. So the way that the album ends is absolutely insane. So I told you like Soap Bar is really my jam, but the Astronaut Show and Normal, I feel like how can you like that trio of songs? It's gonna. I'm not familiar with the venue you guys are gonna play at, but it's gonna tear the roof down. And also to your point,
yes.
like Normal's got such a catchy guitar riff, right? To start, it's like that. That's single material, right? That's radio edit lead single material, and yet you keep it as a coda. So that's ballsy. It is cocky, but you deserve it. It's not coming off as such. Really, really excited to hear that. I mean, unfortunately, I can't be there, but just you're gonna kill it, I'm sure.
Mark, it's Mark. It's okay to feel that way, man. Guys, I feel that way now too. I was really careful about how I feel, but now I'm like, I keep getting reminded by people that like, no. You shouldn't second guess how you write because you guys, not only just you and Mark, but you alone have been doing this shit way longer than other people, and people wouldn't be into it if it weren't for you. So I look at Mark's confidence that way. Like, yeah, man, this shit's gonna be good. It's good. I mean, we've been around a long time. We wrote a lot of great songs. We worked very hard, and I'm glad people are seeing this for what it is and are accepting it. And I'm just excited. But I was just saying, I agree with what Mark was saying. That's all. Sorry.
Well, along with what Eddie just said, like the album as a whole, like if someone asked me like what's the difference between this album and anything else that you've been able to make, like I think that the reason that this is so special is because Eddie and I made like a pact with each other in the very beginning to not get in the way of ourselves. If something is simple or if it's too just play what you want to play, and if it's good, let's just go with it. So you could hear vulnerability. That's the main thing. Like we were vulnerable with each other, and then we wanted Mike to be as vulnerable as he could be in that different process of making music and not even knowing him as a human being. But you could hear that. You could hear that being liberated and being vulnerable, and that's what makes the album so special, in my opinion. I want to say that.
Very nice. And if Mike wasn't vulnerable, then we could have dumped his body anywhere in the woods by the studio. If he didn't do his job.
No one would have found me.
Nope.
Kidding, Mike.
So past the point of next Thursday, next Friday, of course, big deal. What's next? Anything you can tease? What are you looking to do? Are you looking at the whole run of shows? What's in store for the fall?
I'm looking not to screw it up.
We're gonna be mad. We're gonna go to Germany. Then we're gonna get Japan. We're gonna get Australia, the UK, America. We're talking like that's the plan. Like that really is, I think, the plan to just get this in front of as many people as possible.
Colombia finally. Hopefully,
we gotta push it with the right intention right now because we're still building traction. So we got to play some key markets in the U.S. first, which is next. We have plans to do a couple music videos. With more of a theme to them with some of the upcoming songs on the album. I'm looking forward to doing little odd end shows with record stores along the way with that to make things more intimate. Not everything has to be this big thing when we're coming out of the gate. So we want the shows to be more intimate for a while. And there isn't any talks of touring yet, but I mean there's talks, but nothing's in place. There's nothing we can even hint at. But we, like Mark said, we absolutely want to do all of it. We want to tour everywhere with this record and show the world this record, and hopefully, in the next few months, if we present it the right way, that's a possibility for us, and we would like nothing more than to do that.
Good answer.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, man.
Definitely deserves to be heard worldwide. Before we conclude, and I cut you guys loose, you've been so generous so far with your time. I wanted to ask you about, so a few of you spoke to this purity, to this, not getting in each other's way, and really this kind of unfiltered ability to kind of put out and commit to tape whatever you felt most, profoundly, and I guess what was right. I noticed, so it's a self-released project, right? So you haven't really partnered up with the label. You're doing it all yourself. I guess that also fits that equation, right? So you're really in control. You're calling the shots, and you took the bull by its horns. Can you talk to that a little bit, Mark or Eddie?
I mean, I love that that we were able to do this on our own at first. I mean, it would be nice to maybe eventually have someone come in and maybe want to join in with us, like a label or something. But I like that we have full control and no pressure, and we get to write what we want to write. And it's just, for me, it's a really good situation. And I hope that if we do partner up with somebody, they keep it that way. And I want to make sure that we find someone who will agree with us that way, because labels, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Labels scare me. You know, major labels scare me. I don't like any of that stuff. But I also know that in time, eventually you will have to partner up with somebody. So I hope that it works out that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was nice to just to be free and not have anything or anyone over us looking over it at the time. And even if there was someone there to do that, I really believe that they probably would have just been like, nope, this is fine, this is really good, so just leave it alone. But
Exactly.
but having that freedom, that was the whole point of Eddie and I coming together in the first place. It wasn't even about one stream or even putting out a song. It was about creating music that we had for ourselves to see what we could do and see if we could still do it together, like the way that we thought that we could. And we could, and we can, and we are.
And we can, and we are. But like, again, that's the whole thing of going back to, like, me and Mark have been doing this for a long time. It's like, for a long time, you write these sick ass riffs that are making a band popular, that are the reason why people are loving it. But then you have other people in the band with you telling you that they could do it better or they'll fix it. But this is not like that. This is just us respecting everything that we put together, because it's all art and it's all beautiful and it just molds together perfect. So why fix if it ain't broke, right?
Amen. Amen. The
Sorry,
follow-
one more
yeah,
thing.
yeah, please, please.
I think with the way that the industry has changed since streaming has come out has obviously evolved the way that labels work, and you know, Instagram and TikTok, all the social media aspects of it. There's a lot less risk that labels are willing to take. It's obvious. They need to see proof, and I think the way that we're handling this release is just going to be the proof that gives confidence to, you know, a potential, you know, label partner to work with in the future. Saying we could do this, saying what we want to do, is not the same as showing them that we could do it without them.
Exactly.
And that will make us a lot more comfortable with negotiations as well. You know, we're not dying for the help, but we are interested in partnerships. So,
very well
that's all
said.
I wanted to add.
Yeah, no, and it's actually sort of like it segues into, so the Follow the Money umbrella, Mark, I've seen it on like some merch. I guess that's the label name, or sort of, right, the tag that you're using for that. And but is that
You
sort of something?
it's good advice.
It is, and I was going to say, it's just such a like brilliant. How have nobody like have used that before for label or like any sort of commercial enterprise?
I can't believe it either. I can't believe it either. You know, my dad's an accountant, and I would hear him say in the shower, like, it was just weird shit, like, follow, you gotta follow the money. You know, just weird shower shit. And he would say, follow the money all the time. Follow the money. And it just stuck with me my whole life. And then, you know, sometimes you end up in predicaments where you're like, oh shit. That's what, follow the money. You gotta follow the money. So follow it.
Follow it, yeah. I mean, nobody is asking for this, but you know, as I'm sure you all know, I think it's such a smart and switched on setup, because, you know, like Mike was saying, it doesn't necessarily have to be a complete transfer. It could be some sort of partnership, it could be the licensing, like thinking about like future projects. So having something already like such a footprint in place, because I also, full disclosure, I worked for a label before, so I've kind of seen it, and then I got jaded and I left. So just
you think that's a cool label name?
Tell me.
You think that's a cool label name?
What is?
Follow the Money?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Sick.
Yeah.
Cool. I do too.
Yeah. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was done. I was just, but to what you're saying, Mark, is so meta, right? It's talking about the label while also being a label, but it's so, like, you know, naked, because it's what they do.
It could be anything,
right? It could be anything. It could be publishing too, right? Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you. That's really exciting. Thanks for saying that. That makes me really happy.
All right, I think we can wrap up, unless any of you would like to say anything that's sort of been on their mind that we haven't kind of touched on. You've been such great conversationalists so far.
I want to say thank you. Thanks for I know I can tell you like the album, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Of course. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex, for the time. tell as many people as you can, and buy the record, everyone, and come to the shows and hang out with us. And I think this time around, I'm a lot older man, so I'm going to be going around the crowd giving a lot of hugs, like an old man, like people I don't know. Come here, kid. Come here. Let me give you a hug. You know, I want it to be like that, happy and just. I'm proud of all you guys. I don't ever say that. So I'm proud of all you. Mark, I'm proud of you. You've been through a lot. You show a lot. Neal, you got no choice. Uh, I love you, buddy. Mike, God bless. Good guy. Everybody. And you too, Alex. Thanks for the interview.
Oh my God.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Feelings are so mutual. I don't take it for granted. All four of you are here. Shout out me. So new album, All Good Things, comes out next Friday as of the time of recording this, July 24th. Bump it. It's fantastic. It's 11 tracks with a prelude, and they're gonna conquer the world, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Have
We're
a great
gonna
rest
have
of your
fun.
day.
You
Yeah,
too, man.
we're all having it already. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.